What's going on, my Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it once again. Today I'm joined by Sean from Fatal Brotherhood.
And yes, I'm here.
And today we're going to be discussing something that a lot of people have been debating about. This is one character in particular, and in the top 3 of characters, it would have to be Broly, which is who we're going to be talking about, Bardock, and even Trunks that I've seen people say that are overrated. And I want you guys to tell us in your comment section below right now, who do you guys think is the most overrated and why? And a lot of people are saying it's Broly. I actually like Broly, and I'm going to go into discussion why. I honestly don't think he's the most overrated for some reason. I don't know, I kind of idolized him at one point. We go on, Sean, what were you saying?
Yeah, it's like Broly might be only reason that you could think he's overrated is because they tried to make more movies about him, like with the whole Bio Broly. That's just sad. But as a character, Broly's pretty fucking cool.
That's what people would debate you on, because a lot of people think, oh, all he can say is Captain Cock, and like,
Captain Cock.
He got killed by one punch, and the other 2 movies are pretty shitty. I think those movies were where they were really milking him, but I honestly, the first time I ever saw Broly was in Budokai 3. I hadn't seen him any other movie because I didn't have internet access at the time to watch or any of the DVDs. I thought he appeared in GT because that was the first game I've ever saw him in, and that's when they started adding GT sagas to the game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because the cutscene goes straight.
That's how I was following it. Like Budokai 1 Cell Saga, it ended at. Budokai 2 went up to the Majin Buu Saga, and then Budokai 3 jumped into the GT Saga, and that was the
movies.
And some of the movies, and that was the first time I've ever seen this amazing creature. Like, did you see how huge he was to some of these characters? I think he was the biggest.
He's 8 feet something.
Biggest character in Budokai 3. I think you can quote me on that because there was no great apes at the time. And another thing, in that game, the opening sequence has him taking on Gogeta.
Yeah, and that made him just so epic. The fact that he was up to a fusion level.
Yeah, and then after they hyped him up, like he actually punched Gogeta backwards and stuff, and they had to take him out with that amazing Kamehameha, or even if it was, yeah, it was Kamehameha wave, at point blank. Even if that wasn't in the movies, it's still something that hyped him up, but going into the psychology factor of his character, like some people say that he's like mindless and he's obsessed with Kakarot for no reason. I mean, Broly at a young age, surviving the attack, being put to like the garbage waste and surviving all of that shit, being stabbed as a child.
That is all trauma that is normal for, like, it's explainable as to why Broly's so fucked up. He had to listen to Goku crying day in and day out. He got no sleep.
Exactly, and people were saying, oh, he was just crying, he's a big baby. Maybe Broly at a 10,000 power level at birth had like a higher IQ. Maybe, just maybe, and that just ruined him psychologically.
Yeah, that could be it. Maybe
he had a heightened sense of awareness because, as a Saiyan, you can, like, you're seeing all these things around you with your powers and stuff. You just got stabbed. You got thrown into the garbage. Maybe you suffered some trauma from your planet nearly exploding, expending all of this energy. Yes, he's technically a mentally retarded Saiyan, but at the same time, it could have been a psychological factor from that.
He was like Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. When Hiei was born, he was still fully aware of what was going on when they tried to kill him.
Exactly.
And that's why he became cool.
Exactly. So. And I think a lot of people keep missing out on that. Another thing is, when people say that Bardock, like you even said this, that Bardock represented what Saiyans were, hired mercenaries from Frieza to go and destroy planets, I think Broly represented what a Saiyan was to the fullest extent that Vegeta describes it. That's why every time Vegeta says he's the prince of all Saiyans with pride, that's the type of Saiyan he's proud of being, like above of.
That's why he went to the Majin form, because he wanted to be back in the ruthlessness. But yeah, I can agree with that. Broly is a prodigy of what Saiyans wanted to be.
Exactly. This is what people talked about in Legends. Even his base Super Saiyan form looks like the God form, and that's what...
I loved his blue Super Saiyan hair. That was fucking cool.
Exactly. He was Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan before anybody else could, like, challenge that. And people were saying that was because of the necklace and the control from Paragon?
Paragus.
Paragus, my bad.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And then he took it to the next level, was the legendary, showing everybody that Super Saiyan wasn't really all that, and that you needed all of you to perform like a mini Super Saiyan God ritual to Goku, so that he could just kill this creature. And like Broly was just destroying planets as a child, like effortlessly. And this is how it was supposed to be, just showing you the raw finesse of a Super Saiyan. And it kind of resembled the original Super Saiyan God, because people said that his power is what killed him. And in this sense, like, Broly even though he was kind of bipolar with it, because like 1 second he's like something's tormenting him on the inside, and then all of a sudden he just unleashes it and finds the raging Kakarot and just goes for the kill.
He really had to be the legendary Super Saiyan, because it says that Vegeta was saying how the legendary Super Saiyan is supposed to, like, his power was so great that it made him go crazy. That is exactly proven when Broly was just sleeping. He looks at his dad. He says hello. Then as soon as he his power starts to build up again, he goes into this mad form. It's like watching someone like with a curse mark like in Naruto.
Yeah, man, and like on top of that, just being that messed up in the head as a child, like nobody wanted you. You were suffering the moment you were born because of Kakarot. Another person that made him suffer was Frieza and King Vegeta, but those two are dead at that point because Frieza blows up the planet and King Vegeta sends you out to die. That's how much King Vegeta feared this guy, and that's why I respect him so much, because a lot of people...
King of Saiyans wanted your ass dead. That says a lot.
That's just saying that you have too much power, and even that everyone fears you, even your own race. And being the character that nobody wanted around, he decided to just get up and just, I don't know, he just went and he was himself. Nobody wanted him for being himself. That's how much they feared, and that's why I think he's a real ass Saiyan for that. If people,
also, he could have easily, and this is my opinion, as a baby, and even if he was 1 year old, he could have taken Frieza.
Yeah, he could have definitely taken Frieza, and that's why, I guess, another reason why people were saying, oh, the Saiyans are too strong because of Bardock. I think because of Broly as well in that mix. Because if he grew up even older, he was going to take on Frieza and just rip his head off.
He could.
And I don't know, if you just count the first movie alone, I would say Broly was a real-ass Saiyan. Yes, the way he died was bad, but, I mean, the ruthlessness and him just being himself and everyone fearing this creation. Like, imagine you just being born and everybody hates you for just being too powerful, and you being puts all of this suffering and this mental torment throughout your whole life and being under control, trying to suppress that anger and just seeing it all come out as a legendary Super Saiyan. I think he's very symbolic for that reason. That's why I don't think he's overhyped at all. Honestly, it's just the two movies that came afterwards that ruined him, especially Bio Broly. That movie...
That was just terrible.
I mean, I loved every second of just watching him, like, the fear of him building up. That's what I loved about those movies back when they first came out. So, honestly, I don't think he's really that overhyped. I know a lot of you guys do, and please tell me in the comment section below, because I'm trying to put out some facts here and some points that I'm trying to make to get you guys to see my point of view on this. But you guys tell me in the comment section below why you guys think he is or is not overrated. Because, Sean, you also agree with me on this. I mean...
Yeah, but you know, there was actually a part of the movie where Broly had some sense. When he went full-on Legendary Super Saiyan, brawling as hell, he was talking to those slave people and saying, "Oh, you guys wanted to return to your planet," and he fucking that's another badass moment. He takes out a planet with just like one blast.
Oh yeah,
Saiyans like have to go great ape just to do that shit. Just like to destroy an entire planet. He did it with one blast, but he was cognitively aware of what's going on around him.
Yeah, so that shows that he's just like a mad, enraged monster. After suppressing all of this anger for so long, he can just use all of this power at his fingertips. And suppressing that much power,
that's probably what made him go insane. Suppressing the power was like killing him, but then as soon as he just released it all, and he was finally able to be the monster that he was.
Yeah, he was born a monster. People wanted to kill him for being this monster. Suppressing the anger mentally and then suppressing his powers physically. You're telling me you wouldn't go batshit insane?
Yeah, my daddy called me Weezy F brother.
They called me Weezy F brother.
Weezy F brother.
And then like after King Vegeta's dead, Frieza's dead, the one person that's still in your mind that tormented you as a child, because those two are out of the way, is Kakarot. Having all of that power focused on him, waiting for him, especially just to kill him in your sights after being raised as a killing machine and being born for this job. I think he filled his role to like the perfect amount. I think the way they had to take him down, having everybody combine their powers, I honestly don't see how he's completely as overrated as people point him out to be. Maybe a slight bit because of the other two movies yet again.
That's another thing right there, because you said like how King Vegeta and Frieza were dead. That is true, because Paragus had like control over Broly the entire time that like his age after that. As soon as Goku showed up, that released like that trauma that he had. If he had killed Goku straight away, I think Broly would have been back to normal, like under control, because it finally would have been the closure he needed.
He might have had peace. Finally would have. Yeah. That's what he was looking for in his mind. Like Super Saiyan Gohan when he went Super Saiyan 2, that's all he wanted. That's why he became a book nerd after that. He started to study because that's the only reason Gohan fought. He wanted peace. Maybe Broly was just in a
Peace of mind, like his own self. He wanted to come with that inner conflict.
Exactly. When you see Broly sitting on the throne, he's visibly uneasy because of how all of these things going on in his head, and it's just
It's trauma. God damn,
it's
like,
trauma. And then when you're talking about when he goes Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan, just all that rage, and he's in full awareness. He's not even like mentally retarded like people are pointing out. He's just a killing machine born to be what he is. And I honestly was just amazed at that. And the video games did hype him up to some extent, but come on, guys. Budokai 3 is what really did it.
yeah. The whole Gogeta fight versus Broly, that's a serious like power level that they're portraying as like Broly should have.
I mean, in terms of aesthetics, the blue Super Saiyan hair, way back before Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan came out,
Yeah.
and the lines from Budokai 3 that he used to say all the time that used to get me after like winning the match, I am a god. I think that's also why people are indicating that they want him to be the next god in Universe 6 and stuff like that. That's also, he hyped himself up with that line.
Dude, with the whole blue hair thing, I think that's very fucking cool. I mean, seeing Super Saiyans just like all the time is just like it loses its character. But then when you see a blue-haired Saiyan, that was pretty fucking cool.
You had Trunks, future Trunks, go Super Saiyan and rip off a shirt, and he still couldn't put a dent in him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
My OG character right there, I have to put down. But still, on top of that, even Broly's moves and his fighting style in Budokai 3 in that game, especially the ruthlessness, where you grab the person.
It was all raw strength. That was he clotheslined Goku and Gohan.
It was, yeah, his fighting style was still really, really good. I mean, that move in Budokai 3 where he grabs their face and crushes it into the floor.
I love the specific fighting style each character has, and Broly was just such raw power that he was literally just tackling them, so just like they couldn't even touch that, and they made him that way in the game. When you punch him normally, you can't. It doesn't do anything. It's just like he's just gonna stand there.
Exactly. Then he runs over you like a truck.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't think he's as overhyped as people think he is. It's just the way they did the next two movies, and maybe the way he died, that some people just keep in their head, but they kind of ignore the other parts that they try to build around him, like the psychological factors, the torture, the reason he was born, the purpose that he was born for, all of that stuff.
Even in the second movie, Goku had to cheat death, come back to life for a second, just to beat him.
Yeah,
that is a badass moment right there. That means Broly could survive a lot. He survived a planet being destroyed as a baby. He survived Goku's own like Super Saiyan attack with
mini Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan punch.
Yeah,
I mean, not
he
Super
survived
Saiyan.
that too. And then if he had just like if Goku had not done that, he would have ruled and destroyed everything. And maybe if killing Goten would have brought him peace.
That's how powerful he was, and they were saying his power level was going to grow on endlessly and stuff like that. So
it could have. I believe it would have.
I honestly think I still always respected him as a child because of Budokai 3 yet again, and I still respect him to this day. Maybe not to the furthest degree because of like I said, once again, the movies and the way he died, but I don't think he's as overhyped as people say. I still say he might be slightly overhyped, but compared to some other characters, he's definitely not the most overhyped.
He's a very good character because when you take in all these like the whole backstory, the actual psychological parts of this that they're trying to build for this character, the actual way as to like is the folklore of like their own like Saiyan legends and stuff.
Exactly, he has more backstory than some of the Dragon Ball Z characters out there.
Yeah, it's like they built him up in such a great way. They may have ended him off in a bad way, but it was all even. Wasn't there like at the end of like the last Dragon Ball Z movie that before Battle of the Gods that was like years back, right at the end of it, I think it was the Gogeta one where Broly was causing trouble in hell, and that was what Goku was supposed to go down there and fix.
Which movie was that again?
It was the last one. I think it was the whole Janemba one.
Yeah, I think
like right at the end, Goku's eating at King Kai's place, and he tells him, "You have to go down to hell and deal with Broly, who's causing trouble."
And that's the thing, man. I still respect him. And by the way, guys, Sean's studying psychology in college, and he's almost got his degree. So
this is a great thing.
This is his point of view, and why he keeps bringing that up, because if you look at the surrounding factors of the folklore that Vegeta brings up, the psychological torment and warfare on his brain, and all of those things, and some of us can actually relate to that, the fact that some people have to suppress these emotions and this beast within them, I think he symbolizes that to the fullest.
He was the definition of what Saiyans wanted to be.
And I think
but
some of us want to be just like him as well. Like, some of us have to suppress that anger every single day, and there's like a beast like him inside of all of us.
oh, that is fucking true. That New Yorkers have that normally, but they release it.
Like, I mean, the way, like, I keep seeing flashbacks of him just sitting in that room with that torment in his head. Don't a lot of people feel like that sometimes? And then there's just that moment of anger and rage that just comes out of you like a
Yeah,
legendary
that is a seriously relatable character in that sense.
in that sense, especially.
How many of us have just sat there thinking about all the crap we've been through in our daily lives, and then it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then you just can't fucking take it anymore, and then you finally snap, but it's a reasonable snap.
It's just years of torment building up on you. That's another reason. Like, I take that stuff out in the gym. If you guys have seen some of my gym videos, I especially like have Broly in my mind because of that. Just like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Broly is a misunderstood character, and I think he could have actually become a good guy maybe if he wasn't like
If they had got him help, if they had finally just let him calm down and actually talk through his problems, not like what his dad did, let him destroy planet after planet. I don't think that helped.
Yeah, his dad really tormented him, and it was especially because of him that he got really messed up. But at the same time, he could have been aware of everything at birth. He could have been aware of all these surroundings. He could have had maybe he had a Super Saiyan IQ because his fighting styles and everything were at such a young age were beyond comparison.
Yeah, with what you just said, his dad also did cause trauma to him because he was projecting his own revenge thoughts against King Vegeta onto Broly. He was like training him
just
to go
stuffing all of this rage into this creature who already has.
Broly is not an overrated character at all, guys. You got to think about all these, like, trying to understand. Like, we can understand how Vegeta wanted the Majin powers because he was going through his midlife crisis. We can understand how Goku got cocky over the years because he's like the strongest in the universe. And we can understand why Broly is the way he is because of all the shit he's been through. No, even if he's a Saiyan child, the mind of any being can only take so much.
And that just shows, like, another thing, even with Majin Vegeta wanted to return to those Saiyan roots, the roots that Broly basically embodied to the fullest.
Yes.
That's what Vegeta envied. That power that you just get naturally with that rage that you just can't suppress anymore. That's what Vegeta wanted. But he didn't get it, really, because he still had control of the Majin form, and he still loved Bulma Trunks.
Yeah, even though, like, even Vegeta was, like, his reaction to Broly was completely warranted over the fact that he had already seen one legend come to life in Goku with a Super Saiyan legend, and he even became a Super Saiyan.
And he witnessed it all over again and saw it. It was like another witnessing of, like, a Super Saiyan 2 in front of him. He was like,
that's another perspective right there to see how, like, we see Broly as this awesome-ass character, but then see Vegeta in his fear of this character, because he knows that he can easily kill all of them.
He's like, compared to Broly, we're all fakes. We aren't the real legends. We just tapped into a fraction of the power that he had.
Yes. Broly was naturally able to... I seriously think that Broly, like... wasn't people saying that he wasn't the legendary Super Saiyan? I think he was. He was, at birth, he was destined to become a Saiyan.
No, he was, by far. And, I don't know. I think psychologically I've pointed out the reasons and how he can relate to us as human beings and how he's related to the other characters as well, especially Vegeta with all the same pride and Bardock. And how he makes them look like shit in those aspects.
Broly actually, like, he moves up the list as to, like pretty good-ass characters, all because of these, like, aspects of his, like, being.
Especially just having to contain it all. Anyway, tell us what you guys think in the comment section below. And also like this video. Please tell me if you guys agree or disagree after all the points we've given you. I really want to know what your thoughts are, because a lot of people, even big YouTubers like Alex, say that Broly's overrated, and I honestly don't believe that.
Broly is an inspiration as to what we want to be. You want to be that guy who just finally does not give a fuck anymore.
I think people need to stop looking at him for his power level and the way he looked at, and look more at what he symbolizes to humanity and to the Saiyans themselves.
It's the same way like how in Yu Yu Hakusho, Yusuke looked at Toguro as someone who finally who just did whatever he wanted. He didn't have to listen to anybody. That was what we all
that was
the
best part. part. I remember that
Yes.
part of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's like, I wanted to be just like him, where you didn't
Yes.
have to take orders for like when you're at your full power, you don't have to take orders from anybody.
You
And
call your own shots and all that stuff.
that's what's up.
Yes.
That's why I still support Broly in a way,
I
and
support Broly too. Hashtag Broly support.
revive the Broly.
Revive the Broly.
And I can see why people wanted him to become a god, because that's the aspect that people haven't. A lot of people are starting to like go against. It was like 50-50. I've seen in these comments, and for these reasons that people have seen, that's why they want him to be a god, because he was even calling himself a god in Budokai 3. And I don't know, man. That's just my thoughts and opinions. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Sean, what do you
Yes,
got?
I'm also here, and that was my thoughts and opinions as well, guys. Please look
From a
forward to
psychologist.
psychologist. Yes.
Yeah, so one that's about to get his degree. Anyway, we see you guys next time. Take care.
Next time.
Peace.